Hello. Yeah, hi. A very good evening to all of you. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. Hi, Harshad. Hi, Adhika. So let's just start in a minute. So I request all of you to please open that file, the file that we were using the last week.
Sorry, what?
Sorry?
Did you say something? Your voice was cracking.
The office supplies file, the Tableau one.
Okay.
So in order to open it up, you can just when you open the Tableau, you can click on file and you can click on open from Tableau public. Put your ID and password over there. And you will get a list of files. So this, yeah, so this was the file. Right. So this is the work that we were doing in the last week, right? So we had just created one chart where we had seen that how we can showcase, how we can use columns and rows in order to showcase that how many units were sold by the different representatives. Right now, this was a chart that we had created, and what we were then doing was we were seeing how we can change the color, how we can change the size of the bars, and we had seen that how you can put on the labels on the chart as well, right? When you say show mark labels, then you can show some labels on top of the chart, right? So this was a little thing that the thing that we had done in the last class. So now I will request all of you to please add another sheet in this, right? If you click on this icon over here, new worksheet, you will be able to add a new worksheet inside this file. Okay, so please add a new worksheet. So now over here, what we will do, you all have to do is, now we will make a chart on the basis of region, right? If you bring the region over here in the columns and you bring the units, right? So by default, you will notice that whenever you are bringing the measure, that is the green one, they always get aggregated, right? There is a sum that is being calculated. So you can see now the sum of units that were sold in the different regions, we can see that, right? So central is the region where the highest number of units were sold. And if you will notice, this chart is coming in one corner. So what you can do over here is, you can actually click on this at the top. You see there is a little standard. You can make it entire view. So when you make the chart entire view, it comes on that entire sheet. It takes the entire space on that sheet. Okay. Now again, if you want to change the colors, you can do it, right? Any color you want to pick, you can do that. You want to change the size of the bar, you can do that. Label, you can put the show mark labels and you can see the labels now, right? Now there's a section of detail. Detail I'll tell you in a little bit of a while. But before that, I would like to talk about tooltip, right? So what is a tooltip? See, what happens is when you hover on this chart, you see when you are hovering on this, there is this box, that the dialog box that is coming, a small box which tells you what is the name of the region and how many units. Now this is called as a tooltip. If you click on the tooltip, you can actually modify these properties, right? Suppose if you see you want to say region and sum of the units. Now it is telling you that this is what the information that you have on the bar. If you want to format it, right, you can just select it. You think you want to make it bold, you want to make it center aligned, you want to change the color. So you can do all those formattings on this. Just a normal, the formatting on the text and all. Now for each chart, what you can do is you can also put up a title. You see this section that you see at the top, this is called as a title. If you double click on this, so by default, what happens is you will notice that, what is the title? Title is the sheet name. Whatever is the name of the sheet, that is something that comes in the title. Right? Suppose if I rename this sheet, if I call it as units by region. So if I rename the sheet, the same thing comes at the top, units by region. But if you want to write your own title and you want to keep the sheet name different, you can double click on this. You can remove this formula of sheet name and you can write total units sold by different regions. Okay, I hope you are able to do it. All you are able to do it. Now, the next thing that we're going to see over here is that, if you want to create some calculated fields, right? If you want to make some calculated fields, we are going to see that. So how do we do that? If you see, we have units and unit price. So I can calculate the sales from this, right? So like sales will be units multiplied by unit price. So if you want to create any calculated field, just right click over here and you will find the option of create calculated field. So you can do the calculation in the Tableau itself. Okay, if you click on calculated field, let us call it as sales. What will be the formula? Sales is units multiplied by unit price. Okay. And you will find that the sales field has been created now. If you click on the data source, you will be able to see that field also over here. Right? So now all of you, please, can you all create a new chart where you have to showcase sales by representative. So all of you, please create a chart to showcase sales by representative. Right? Okay. Right. So simple. It's not that tough. We just have to do the same thing. If I add a new sheet, I will now pick up the field of rep in the column, and I'll put the sales this time, and we can sort this. Right. So I see the highest sales are being done by Harry right now. Okay. Now, see, basically, every representative now belongs to one region, right? Every representative belongs to one region. If you will take a look at it, like for example, Harry, Richard belongs to East, right? So everywhere you will see Richard is only doing the sales in the East. Smith, he belongs to Central. So he would have done all the sales in the Central. Now, what I want to do is on the same chart, on this same chart that we have created right now, on this chart, what I want to do is I want to highlight the region also, right? Like from which region does that representative, into which region does that representative belongs? So how do you think from the visual perspective we should be showing it? So I'm not asking on the Tableau perspective, from the visual perspective, that how do you think if we show the region in that certain way, from the chart itself, a person will get to know from which region that person belongs to. Right. So Harshad user bring region to colors. Right. So basically color coding is something we can do. If the bar is of red color, we can say that, okay, red color means east, blue color means west. So we can define colors for each region, or we can use it on the tooltip as Radhika mentioned, or we can use it on the labels also. So there are multiple ways of doing the same thing. So let's start doing it. See, what I can do is if I pick up the region, first of all, I'll bring it in the columns only, right? I have brought it in the columns. So first of all, you have all the representatives of Central, then East, then West. Don't you think it is easy for me to figure out from here that these are all the employees of Central, these are all of East, and these are of West? So when I brought it in the columns, data got split column wise. If you take it in the rows, the data will split row wise, row 1, row 2, row 3. Okay. Or what I can do is I can put it on the color. You can drag and drop fields on the color also. So you can see color coding is done. Central is in blue color. East is in orange color. West is in red color. And if you think these colors are not as per your choice, you can now click on colors. Now color will change accordingly. The options will come differently. Now you will click on edit colors and you can change the colors according to your own need. So you have lots of color templates. You can pick any color for the regions and you can change them. Right? So please, all of you try this. Same way, try to drag the same thing on the tooltip and on the label. Right? Did you try it? If you put it on the label, the region names will come at the labels over here at the top. If I put in the tooltip, they will come in the tooltip now.
Hi, Amit. But what if I want to keep that color coding as it is and show the labels of the region? Then what should we do?
So what do you want to show in the color?
I want to keep the color coding for the region same as it is, like the before. And I want to show the label different regions.
I mean, you want to show the name of the region also on the label.
Correct. Yes.
Both the things, right?
Yes.
So you can pick the region from here and put it on the label.
Okay, once again. Okay, fine. Okay.
Okay. So this is how you can, do some quick stuff in the tablet. So now what you can all do is you can save this file and then we will open a new file and start working on that. And we will learn some new features on it. So what I'm doing is, shall I share the file? I need to share an Excel file. Shall I share it on the WhatsApp? Will that be fine? If you all have that web WhatsApp opened up, so you can download it from there.
Yes.
And it works. Okay. Yep. So I've shared a file.
Amit, this is the file which we're working on right now. This file you've shared.
No, long CSV file. I've shared another CSV file which has some data.
Yes.
So,
Okay, because I don't have the laptop thing downloaded on my laptop.
I mean, you can open this web.whatsapp only. You just write that. You don't need to download it. You can just on that web.whatsapp over there. So that you just open up your phone and scan that barcode.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If you want to try it, it will just take just 20 seconds, not more than that. Just open web.whatsapp.com, open up your WhatsApp on the phone, and in the settings you will find the option of web desktop. Just open that and scan the barcode. That's it.
Okay, so we are going to create a new sheet here, right?
New file. You have to open a new file.
Okay, new file altogether.
So this previous one, you can save it and close it.
Okay.
So first of all, I'll give you a little bit of an idea what the data is all about. Okay, so this is the data that I've shared, right? So this data that I've shared is like this is like statistical data from one of the US websites only. In this, what they have done is they have given us the information as an age group, right? Like in the age group of 16 to 19 years, in the month of Jan 2005, there were 91,000 men who were unemployed. Okay. Same way in 20 to 24 years, there were 1,75,000 men who were unemployed. So the data is broken up on the basis of different age groups, then on the basis of gender, right? And then for the different months, right? So for the different months, we have the data that how many people were unemployed in the US in a particular month belonging to a different age group and the gender. Okay, so this is the data that we have, and this data is in a CSV file. Oh, sorry, Excel file. This data is in the Excel file that I've shared. So Radhika, are you able to open it, or do you want some?
Yes, downloaded it. Able to open.
So all of you, please open this new Tableau also. Now the file is in Excel, right? So we will click on Microsoft Excel now. I'll click on Microsoft Excel, go to that file and open it up. And we can see the complete data is now can be seen in the Tableau interface. Okay, now we will come on to the sheet one. See, now, in this activity, we will be focusing majorly on the time series analysis, right? We will be seeing on how you work with the date and time fields in the Tableau and what type of charts do you create and how do you create the charts when it comes to time fields. See, whenever you have to do time series analysis, can anyone tell what type of a chart we should create? Right, Harshal, that is a line chart, right? So we should be creating a line chart if you have to do some line time series analysis. So our Tableau is again a smart tool. What it will do is, if you will do some time series analysis, by default, right? By default only, Tableau is going to create a line chart for us. And let us see it. See, if I pick up the column of my period, put it in the columns, and I pick up the unemployed, my chart is created. I can see how many total, how many people were unemployed in the different years, right? So if you please just pay attention for a minute, then you can all just create this. See, in the data, I have the dates at month level, right? 1st of Jan 2005, 1st of Jan 2005, and then 1st of Feb 2005, 1st of Feb, right? That is how I have the data. But if you will take a look at the chart, right? This chart that I have created. So what Tableau has done right now is it has created the chart at the yearly level. It has aggregated complete data at the year on year level, right? That is what is the total people who were unemployed in 2005, 6, 7, 8, likewise, up till 2015. So we have good amount of data starting from 2005 up till 2015. So we have almost like 10 years of data with us. Okay. Now by default, what has happened now is the chart is created at the data is aggregated at the yearly level. If you want to see this chart at quarter level or month level, you can do that as well. And how to do that? Simply right click on this field. You will find the option of year, quarter, month, year, quarter, month. You are going to find these options twice. Year, quarter, month is coming over here and year, quarter, month is coming over here. Okay. So now, even before I change that, can anyone explain me this trend? Can anyone of you explain me this trend that you see over here?
Explain as in means exactly what do you want to know?
I mean, what is the trend that you see? What do you interpret from this chart?
Okay.
So no, Zeba, this is not linear. So if you see, right, if you see over
Little
here,
bit exponential at first half. And
see, if I have to explain, I will say that, like I can see that as a trend, starting from 2005 up till 2010, the unemployment was increasing. Can I say it, right? The unemployment was increasing in US. And only after 2010, the unemployment started coming down, right? Can anyone of now think of a reason why this type of a trend was seen?
the recession. I mean, the
Right,
reason.
right. Recession. If you remember in 2008, 2007 or 8, there was a recession
Right.
that had hit the US market. So at that point in time, a lot of people lost their jobs. So there was unemployment was increasing. But after 2010, the market started to get stabilized and unemployment started coming down. Okay. Now what I would like to do is I don't want to see this chart at a yearly level. I want to see this analysis at a quarter level, right? I want to see a more detailed analysis. So what you can do now is if you right click over here, you will find year, quarter, month over here at two of the areas. So let us try to understand what is the difference between these two. See, if you will select the quarter from here, let's select the quarter from the first box. You can now see you are seeing 4 quarters: quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, right? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Is this chart fine?
It is just giving us the overall impression, not the detailed analysis.
So basically what it is doing is it is not giving us the year, if you see, right? Q1, Q2, I cannot know what Q1, which year Q1 it is, which year Q2 it is. Basically what right now Tableau has done is Tableau has aggregated the data at the quarter level. Quarter 1 of all the years, quarter 2 of all the years, quarter 3 of all the years, and quarter 4 of all the years, right? So it has added up the quarter wise data for all the years together. Same way, if you right click on this and you select the month from here, it is going to give you 12 months. 1, 2, 3, starting from Jan up till December. And there is also a point to notice that when you see over here on the bottom left, it gives 12 marks. 12 marks means that there are 12 pointers on this chart. There are 12 points on this chart. Now it has aggregated total unemployment for the period of January for all the years, total unemployment for the month of February for all the years, and likewise. So do you think this chart is useful?
No.
Okay. Then why they have given this option?
This is if it is 1 year data only, then we can check it with quarter, month, year. But if there are multiple years involved, then you can use the second option.
No, actually, this chart is useful and it's not required for 1 year. This chart is actually useful in the case of multiple years only, right? And the reason for that is because, this type of a chart is used to check seasonality, right? So like in this case, in this data, I don't have that thing. Although if you want to see, I can find the seasonality from here also. See, what is seasonality? Seasonality means a kind of a trend that repeats, right, every year. So generally what happens is, right, like you all would have seen that, sales of cold drink will be always high in the summers and it will be less in the winters. Correct? So it will always be high in the summers. So what I can do is I can create a chart at the month level, right? And in whichever months I will see that the chart is high, right? If suppose the chart comes like this, right? The chart looks something like this. Right, the chart is looking something like this now. Now I can tell that this is the particular month in which the sale is always high, right? And I can say that this month is particular where the sale is always low. Now this is coming after the total sales for all the years. So by making a chart at the aggregated level, I will be able to find which are the months or the quarters when the sale is high and when the sale is low. So this is what the benefit of this type of a chart is. Right? When you have to check the seasonality, you can quickly check that thing out from here. Making sense?
Yes. But this
and
this is a data of multiple years. So yeah, I get it that we can check seasonality. Like we can check that generally in Jan to Feb, say is the unemployment is higher. June it drops. June to July it increases. But this is like an ultimate average because every year data could be different. It could be like it's summation of all of it. This is an average.
But the pattern remains the same. But the pattern remains the same. Generally, what you will see is that if you have, if a person has suppose a sports store, so there will be certain months, when the kids have vacations, at that time always the sales are going to be high, and the other time when the kids have examinations, the sales are going to be low. Now this is a pattern that remains the same every year. So by looking at the chart at a one single view, you will be able to find it out, right? That in which particular month or year, like for example, let me show you, just to make it more clear. I get what your doubts are. See, let me just show you that. So what I'll do is I'll make a chart. Okay, so let's make this chart at the month level. Okay, now see, this is the sales chart, how the sales are happening at a superstore, and the chart I have read at a month level, aggregated at a month level. So we have the data of 4 years, right? 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have aggregated the data only at the month level. So from here, what do you get the insight? I get to see that the sales in March are high and the sales in November are high. That is like a overall for all the years. Now, if I come over here and make the chart at a yearly level, you are going to notice the pattern is kind of similar over there also, right? In the year 2014, the sale was high in March, then the sale was high in this November, right? And when again I come to the next year, again the sale is high on the March, and then again the sale is high in November and drops in December. You see it? November and December.
Yes.
If I come in the next year again, the pattern is similar. So it helps me in taking a look at that pattern in one single holistic view. That is what that use case of that particular thing is, right?
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
And but your concern is right. Yeah, it can happen that the different years might have different pattern that would have happened. If that would be the case, for that you will actually be seeing the analysis at a different level altogether. So let's come back to this order sheet now. Let me just delete this. Okay. Now over here, if you select the month not from this dialog box, but you select the month from this dialog box, we are going to select month from here. Now you are going to get the complete detailed chart, right? Jan 2005, Feb 2005, March, April, May, up till December. Then you have all the months of next year, then all the months of next year. Likewise, you will be able to see all the months of all the years. Right? So if you select the month from the dialog, month or quarter from the below box, the chart will be taking year also into consideration. And if you select from the above box, it is not going to take year into consideration.
Okay, I'm noticing one thing. If we select month from the upper one, it turns blue, and
and otherwise it is green.
The second one, yeah, it's green.
Yeah, so it is because when you selecting it month from here, it is considering that month as a
discrete
dimension
value. Okay.
As a dimension, as a categorical value. This dimension.
Right.
So basically, it is taking month as just one category now. It's not treating it as like a month. It is treating it as a category. Right? But when you select it from here, now in that case, year also matters. So because year also has to be calculated, so that is why it becomes a measure over here. Correct. That this year, this particular month. Now, can you split this chart? Right now, this is again the same trend, right? The trend remains the same. I can see the unemployment was increasing up till 2010 and then started coming down. It's just that it is more granular now. And you can see we have 122 marks, right? Because we have almost like 10 years of data. And we have, 12 months. So 10 into 12, 120. And we have 2 months extra for the 2015, Jan and Feb. That is why we have 122 marks, 122 points on this chart. Now what I would like to do is, I would like to split this chart, right? Right now what has happened in this is basically, if you will take a look at it, right now the data has been aggregated for months, Jan 2005, total unemployment. I want to split this data on the basis of gender, right? I want to see, was the trend same for the men and women or was it different? Now, how do you think we can split this chart?
You can bring gender to the row.
So different lines, one for female, different lines.
So one line, yeah, one line for men and one line for women. So what you can do is you can pick up the gender. You can either put it into the columns like this. So you get 2 columns, right? One column, one second column. You can bring it in the rows. 1 row, 2nd row. Or the best would be bring the gender on the color. Okay. So now if I see the trend was almost the same for men and women. It is just that the women were less unemployed, right? We can see the trend was exactly the same. If the unemployment was increasing for men, it was increasing for women also. But yes, the women were less unemployed in the terms of numbers. Okay. Now, can you all make the similar chart for the different age groups? How the unemployment was changing for the different age groups? So add a new worksheet and create a chart for how the unemployment was changing for the different age groups. Radhika, you've done it. Okay. So simple stuff. If you again pick up the day period, unemployed, and this time what we are going to do is we are going to put the age into the color, and I can see it. Right. So now we can see this over here. But don't you think that this chart is little, overwhelming in the sense that, lines are overlapping on one another? It can be little difficult for a person to interpret. Right? We can see the lines are just overlapping on one another over here. But what I see over here is that unemployment, if I talk about the trend, so the number of people who were in the age group of 65 and over, they were the least unemployed, and makes sense, right? Because in this age group, people are mostly retired. So there are very less people who are looking out for the work. And we can see the highest number of people who were unemployed, they were into the age group of red one, right? That is 25 to 34. And that is the prime age, right? When the people are looking out for work, right? So we can see that the maximum number of people in this age group, they are looking out for the work at that time. So we can see the unemployment is highest. And same way we can see it for the green one also, 35 to 44 years. Again, the unemployment trend was same. Now, what we are going to do over here is, first of all, we are going to change the chart, right? So by default, up till now, what we have learned is that whenever we are creating some charts, Tableau is automatically creating for us. If you want to change the chart style, so what you do in that case is you click on Show Me. If you will click on Show Me over here, you will see different type of charts coming up over here. Now, these are different charts that you can create in the Tableau. If you click on this chart area, so please click on this area chart. The chart, line chart has been converted into an area chart now. So can you all comprehend this chart now? What has changed in this?
Since the red one is having the highest area, that means it has the highest unemployment. That is 25 to 34 years.
But there is no overlapping of the lines. Why is it that?
Yeah.
Like if I see the previous one, the line chart. So it was like the lines are like going on one another. But if we see this chart, there is no overlapping.
Because it's using the area to signify the values.
Okay.
So from, let's say, for example, from 11 to 15 million in 2005, we can see that that is the value which should be there for red.
This one?
Yeah. So every value is aggregated and shown individually rather than on top of each other in the same line chart?
No, in this it is actually on
top of each other.
Above one above the other.
Yeah.
Basically, if you will try to see now, so like at the first of all, they have actually shown us the total unemployment for 65 and over. Okay. So in the 65 and over, in the year of 2005, there were how many? 13,70,000 people who were unemployed. 13 lakh, right? In the 2005. And in 2006, there were around 10 lakh people who were unemployed. And then there were again 12 lakh people who were unemployed. Now for the next age group, right? For the next age group, that is 55 to 64. Now this 13 lakh is used as a zero. This is used as a zero. Starting from 13 lakh, they have marked 20 lakh, right? So they have marked 20 lakh on top of this. So technically now what is happening is, if you will take a look at the area is giving you the total number of people who are unemployed for that particular age group. But if you will take a look at this line right now, this gives you the overall total of the people who are unemployed. Overall total people who are unemployed. This plus this. Okay, this plus this.
Yeah, I think you explained this in Excel also.
Right.
You're on mute. You went on mute.
Yeah, just give me one. Okay, so right, so this is something that we discussed in the Excel also, the same chart. Okay, now we are going to make this chart. I mean, we are going to make this analysis a little more better in some context over here. Okay, so now what we're going to do over here is we are going to see. So before I move ahead, any question on this part up till here? Anyone who still feels that the chart is not clear?
No, I'm good.
Okay. See, now we have a feature that is called as filters. Okay, so what I can do now is I'll simply pick up the gender and put it in the filters. Okay, simply pick the gender and put in the filters. Okay, now it is saying men and women. So I select men and I click on apply and OK. Now what has happened is this chart has got filtered and this is just showing me the data for men in the different age groups. Okay, the data for men for the different age groups. If I right click on this and if I say edit filter, if I select women, it is going to show me the chart how the unemployment was changing for women. So I am applying a filter based on that the chart is changing. Okay, right click, edit filter, and you can change the filter. But definitely, clicking on this edit filter again and again is not a good job. So what you do is you right click on this and you can say show filter. So when you say show filter, the filter will come on your screen itself. Right, so you can play around with the filter right over here on your screen. Okay. Okay. Are you all able to do it? Similarly, you can try to put the filter of age also in this. You put age and you say, I would like to use all the values, apply and OK. And right click on this and say show filter. Now you can see you have the filter of age also. You can select any age group, that data will be visible to you. So you have two filters, age and gender. You can play with all the filters now. Okay. You can also change the look and feel of the filters, right? Like if you see this filter right now, if you will click on this little arrow, if you will click on this little arrow, you have some options that how you can change the overall look and feel of this filter. See, first is like single value list. Single value means in the filter, you can only choose one single value. You can't choose multiple values. If you click over here, you want to make it single value drop down. You can select a drop down from here. Okay. The filter is coming in the form of a drop down. You click on this. You want to make it a single value slider. You can make it look like a slider also. Right? You want to make it a multiple value list. So multiple value means you can select multiple values. Okay. I hope you all are trying it. Please let me know if you have any questions on this. Okay. Right. See, now you know this filter that we have applied, right? This filter that we have applied, this filter is right now working only on this chart, right? Suppose I want that this filter that I've applied, suppose the filter, let me remove the age for now. I'm just removing the age for now. Suppose what I want is I want that this filter of gender should work on this sheet also, right? Not just on this sheet, this filter should work on the sheet one as well. So what I can do in that case is if I right click on this filter, there's an option that is called as apply to worksheets. Okay, there's an option that I can see apply to worksheets. If you see on apply to worksheet, right now this filter is working only this worksheet, only on this worksheet. If I say that I want to apply this filter on selected worksheets, right? So it will give me the name of all the sheets that I have. So I have only two sheets right now, sheet 1 and sheet 2. Sheet 2, it is already applied. I will say I want this filter to work on the sheet 1 also. If I click on this, you will notice the filter will come on the sheet 1 as well, right? The same filter has come up over here also. Suppose if I select only men from over here, this chart will also show me only men. If I put over here, I select women, it is going to implement that, apply that filter over here as well. And you can right click on this filter and say show filter over here. So you can apply the filter over here also, right? And the same thing will replicate it over there as well. So we have the same filter working on both the sheets. And same way, you know, what you can do is, if you come over here on this filter, if you right click on this and you say apply to worksheet, and now you choose the option of all using this data source, right? All using this data source means, what is the data source? Data source is this. So any chart, right? Any chart that you will create on that, this filter is going to come up. right? Suppose if I add a new sheet over here, and the moment I'll bring any field over here, you will notice the filter will come up. So when you choose the option of all using this data source, any chart that you create using this data source from which this chart was created, on every chart that filter is going to come. Okay, on every sheet that filter is going to come. So that is how these filters work. So you can use filters. We have seen two things, that is how you make a line chart and how do you make a this area chart. So these are the things that we have seen. So what you can do now all is you can save this file. You can save it to Tableau Public, and there you go. So you can all click to save to Tableau Public and then just move ahead. Okay. So guys, let's just take this 5 minutes of a break over here, right? So let's take 5 minutes and then we'll start after that. Okay. Okay, yeah, hi class. So let's start now. Okay. So now what we're going to do over here is, I hope you all have saved this file that we're using. Okay. So we can all now open a new file. Now this time, what we are going to do over here is we are going to use another file, which I'm just sharing with all of you, sample superstore. I guess sample superstore is something that you all would be having also. I mean, you all might would be having it, but if not, so I'm just sharing that file again. Okay, so just share that. Yeah, so I shared one sample superstore file on the WhatsApp. So you can always download this file now. So I'll also open and show you the data. So data is something that you all have already seen as well. Okay, this is the file that I have shared with all of you, right? Sample superstore. Now in this file, we have the data related to the right, as in row ID, order ID, on what date the particular order was sold, on what date that order was shipped. So we have good amount of data in this, right? So to which segment the order belong, from which country, state, and city the order was purchased, right? So we have the information regarding the category, subcategory, and the product name. What was the sales value, quantity, and the profit, right? So I guess all of you are already aware of this data. And if you see in this sheet, we have multiple sheets. We have orders, returns, people, sheet 1 and sheet 2. There are multiple sheets in this file. So now what we're going to do over here is let's open the Tableau and let's connect to this file. It's an Excel file. So let's choose that file now. Sample superstore. Let's open this file. So when I open this file, you will notice there are multiple sheets that I have. So that is why what Tableau has done right now is Tableau is not showing you any data, because Tableau doesn't know that which sheet you are going to use, right? So I am going to use orders. So simply drag orders over here. I hope you are able to pull the data. Okay. Now, can you all create a chart? I would like to see the sales, how the sales happened across the different subcategories. Can you all please create a chart? Sales by subcategories.
Amit, I'm not able to remove the previous sheet. Can I share my screen, please?
Your voice is coming very low.
I'm not able to remove the previous sheet, this long-term unemployment statistics.
You're not able to remove it.
Yeah, I don't know how to remove this. It's not giving option of remove. Grayed out.
No, you have to open a new file. You have to click on file and click on new.
Okay.
So that will open a new Tableau file. Okay. Simple chart. So we just have to pick up the subcategory and the sales, and the chart is there. And we can sort it in the descending order. So I can see from here the highest sales happen in phones and the lowest sales happen in fasteners. Right, so let's put up a title also. So because this is a complete activity that we will be doing, let's call it as sales by category. Let us make it bold, center aligned, apply, and okay. Not category, it's sales by subcategory. Okay. See, now, in this data, we have a very new thing that I would like to show you. There is some geographical data. You see country, state, and city. Now, these are geographical data points. And you can see over here, Tableau is showing me a globe symbol, right? Tableau is showing a globe symbol. That means Tableau is identifying, or Tableau is reading this data as a geographical data now. Now, what do you mean by geographical data? Geographical data means a data that has latitudes and longitudes, correct? So if I come over here, if you will come on the sheet, see, you have the geographical data, postal code, right? Zip code is a geographical data, state is a geographical data, city is a geographical data, and country is a geographical data. Now, whenever you have some geographical data in your data source, so what Tableau will do is, Tableau is going to generate latitudes and longitudes, right? So Tableau generates the latitudes and longitudes automatically. This was not there in the data. This lat and long, these were not there in the data. What happened was, Tableau saw that, okay, there is some geographical data. So what Tableau has done is, Tableau has generated their latitudes and longitudes automatically. Right? Lat and long are generated automatically. That is what is written also over here, generated. That these are generated by the Tableau. They were not there in the original data source. Okay. Now, what is the use case of this? What is the benefit of having a latitude and longitudes and the geographical data? The benefit of this is that you will be able to create a map, right? You can now create a map in the Tableau. So let's do that. Let's add a new sheet. Okay, just add a new sheet. Pick up the column of country and drop it over here in the middle. And right away, you all will notice a map is created. Okay. So you can see now, we only have one country in the data, that is United States. You can see the map is created. You can pick up the state, drop the state also inside this. Now in United States, there are a lot of states. All the states are shown to you. So there are 49 marks, 49 states. I hope you are able to create it. Okay. Now what I would like to do is, I want to see the total sales generated in the different states. Right now, I just have the name of my states, but definitely my idea would be, I would like to see that how much sale was generated across the different states, right? So what I can do now is, I have the sales column, just pick up the sales and put it on the sides. So you pick up the sales and put it on the size. The moment you do that, you are going to note that the size of the bubble has changed. Bigger the bubble, higher the sale. Smaller the bubble, lower the sale. Right? If the bubble size is big, that means sale was more. If the bubble size is small, then the sale is less. Okay. And now you can also notice, that certain places the bubble is very small, right? It is barely visible. So what you can do in this case is you can click on size and increase the size of the bubble. You will notice proportionally the size of the bubble is going to increase. Bigger ones became very big, smaller becomes a little bigger so that they are visible over to you, right? So we can see from here that like California has good sales, New York had good sales, and Texas had a medium type of a sales, and Illinois also, but Montana, Idaho, Oregon, these have very less sales.
Amit, I had one question. So we make a calculated value, like we made sales, right? In that units into unit price.
So your voice is coming very low.
Is it better now? Better now?
Yeah, just can you come again?
Yeah. So I'm saying like we made sales by multiplying unit into unit price in the previous sheet. We could see it in the data source, but does it also get added into the table Excel sheet on its own?
No. It will be just visible in the Tableau only, not in the data source.
What if it is the license Tableau then?
Over there also it is not. So there is no tool which actually creates the same thing in the original data source. If you build something in the tool, it will be only available in the tool. It will not pass on that thing to that Excel or the SQL server.
So in a license Tableau, like in an office setup, how do we save the file and where
okay. I'll show you that. I'll be telling you that.
Okay.
So that is a part of the agenda. So there are two file formats, TWBX and TWB. I will show you that. You are talking about that. How do we save that the workbook file in the normal when you're using a license software, right?
Yes.
I'll be telling you that.
Okay.
Okay. So now, if you see over here, we have used the option of size. Color is still vacant. What I can do is I can pick up the profit and put it on the color. Now you will notice I have got the color saturation also. As in wherever the color is dark blue, that means the profit was high. Wherever the color is dark orange, the profit was very low. Right? So we can see something, sales and profit both on the map. Okay. So now what we'll do is let's add a new sheet. And before we do that, let's put up a title also for this chart. Let's show it as sales and profit by regions. Now let's come to the third sheet. And now what we're going to do over here is let's create another chart. We're going to create a chart sales by segment. Okay, we are going to create a chart where we will show sales by segment. Okay. See, now this chart is something you all will be able to get very quickly. So if you pick up the segment and you pick up the sales, the chart is ready. Okay. But I don't want to create a bar chart, but I want to create a pie chart. Right. So because we have already created one bar chart where we are showing the sales by subcategory. Now, when I'm showing sales by segment, I want to showcase the pie chart. So what I will do is I will click on the show me and there is an option of pie chart. Right. So now, when you click on show me, so please all of you pay attention over here. There is something I would like to tell. You see, there are certain charts which are grayed out and certain charts which are active. What does this mean is that based on the fields that I have right now on this chart, right? Based on the fields that I have right now on the chart, this chart can be converted into a this type, or this type. I can convert them into the active ones, but I cannot convert them into the gray ones. Why? Because for every chart, right? For every chart, there is a minimum requirement. You can see those requirements over here, right? Like if you are talking about this chart, in order to create a horizontal bar chart, you need to have one or more measure, and I already have that. Similarly, if you want to create a line chart, you need to have at least one date field. Now, like on this chart, I don't have any date field, so I cannot convert this chart into a line chart. Okay, so if I select the pie chart from here, I will be able to convert it into a pie chart now. So if I select pie chart, the chart gets converted into pie chart right away. And let's make it entire view so that we can see it in a full screen view over here. Okay. And now if you want to put something on the labels, you can do that. Suppose if you pick up the segment and put it on the label. So I can see the labels also. Let us put the sales also on the label. So I can see these labels over here as well. Okay. So what we've done is we have created 3 charts right now. 1, 2, and 3. So what we'll do now is let's add one last chart in this. And now in this, what we're going to do is we are going to showcase sales versus profit by customers. Okay, I want to showcase the sales versus profit by customers. Now tell me what type of a chart should I create for this?
What do you mean by customers? Like,
right, for each customer, every customer, how much sale and profit that the customer gave me. Okay. Right, like we have the customer name also, right? This, but if I pick any customer, so like for Claire, how much total sale and profit did that customer give me? So that is something I want to calculate for each customer.
Okay, so does it mean removing the returns, what the sales and profit is?
No, returns is not something that we're using right now. We are just using the orders tab only.
Okay, so
Maybe we can create a scattered chart.
Right? So scatter plot is something that we can create. See, because whenever you have two numerical fields, right, sales and profit, you will always be creating a scatter plot. So I pick up the sales and put in the columns. I pick up the profit and put it in the rows. I get a scatter plot, right? Sales and profit, but I'm only getting one single bubble. Why? Because it is giving me the total of sales and profit over here on this bubble. And I want to break this data by customers. Now that is where we are going to use the option of detail, right? So when you have detail, if you pick up the customer name and put in the detail, the chart is going to split up and it is going to give you the detail about each customer in terms of sales and profit. So it is telling me that this customer, Tamara, this customer gave me the sales of 19,000 and a profit of almost like 9,000. This customer again gave me the sales of 25,000 and a profit was into losses. So although this customer did a lot of sales, but he gave me ultimately the loss only of 2,000. So this is how we can see the chart has been created now. So we can clearly get to see these are the customers who have given me good sales and good profit. But below the line, these are all the customers who have given me losses only. So detail is something which we use if you have to add some detail in the chart without changing the properties of the chart, right? Like when you add something on the color. So color changes in the chart. When you put something on the size, size changes in the chart. But when you put something on the detail, it is going to add more information in the chart without changing the overall look and feel of the chart. Okay. So this is where, now what you can all do is you can save this file and we will be using this file tomorrow and we will create a dashboard out of it and we will see some other interesting properties on it. Okay. So anything you all would like to ask before we close the session?
How are you feeling now? Hope you're feeling better.
Better now. So symptoms are gone, but still, a little bit of weakness is there. And but apart from that, most of the symptoms are gone.
Did you get a COVID negative test, like report?
No, actually, yesterday itself only I have completed the 14 days. So doctor has suggested to get that thing after at least 3 weeks because the dead cells also of the corona, they come in the report and the report comes out positive in that case. So he has asked me to wait for a week.
So you're not allowed to go outside for another week?
Huh?
So you're not allowed to go outside for another week?
I mean, doctor has asked me that I can go out. That's not a problem.
Okay.
So because now, because in my family, like actually me, my brother and my wife, we all three got infected. So now all three are we don't have any symptoms, anything. And doctor has also said that, now you are almost, you guys are corona free now, but still, we are refraining from going outside because it could be little, we never know that because this disease is like unpredictable. People don't know about it. So I'm just waiting for a week now and then I'll get myself tested. And once that report comes negative, but anyway, because, like right now in India, the condition is very bad.
Yeah.
The cases are like everywhere. So people are just not going outside, even if they are in good health.
Yeah, I think lockdown is also there, right?
Lockdown is going on in certain states, not everywhere, right? Like in Delhi, there is a lockdown, and same way in
I guess in Mumbai also.
In Mumbai also, because over there also the condition is very bad. Because I stay in Noida, so in my society, in my apartments itself, right, like where I stay, in the last 1 month, there are like more than 100 cases that I have heard. So like there are 600 families that stay over here in the apartment, and 100 plus cases I have heard. I mean, it has spread very bad and very fast this time.
They had applied a curfew from night time till morning time.
That we have.
At least
So
in Delhi.
night curfew is everywhere from evening 8 up till 7 in the morning. And there is also a weekend lockdown. That Saturdays and Sundays also there is a lockdown. That is also everywhere, weekend.
Okay. Okay, good to hear that you're feeling better now, and just maybe wait for a week and get a negative report. And yeah, you're relieved then.
I'll just call the team and doctor that testing team.
Yes, vaccine. Actually, I think it's opening from 1st May, right? For people above 18 years of age.
Above 18, so it is opening from 1st of May. So my father has already got himself vaccinated. He got himself vaccinated last month. So I am also planning like the moment this vaccination drive will open. So because the people who have, basically who have been diagnosed with corona, so they had to get themselves vaccinated after 45 days. So I'll have to wait for a month. So after that, I'll get myself vaccinated.
Very good. Good to know.
How is the condition at your places? Is it controlled or still spreading?
I think we all are in different states. So every state is having its own thing going on. So I'm in California, and here it is where I'm living. It's quite in control, and they're having vaccines for everyone. They started 16 plus years early in April only. So it's getting better, much better. So and they're populated also, right? So it's not like India, every second house will get infected.
Okay. So you have got it vaccinated? You have...
yes, so I've got my first dose. I will be getting my second dose, and then that will be done.
Oh. So was there any side effects, or was it fine?
There was actually in the evening. I got it in the morning, and by evening I was feeling a bit cold and shivering. But next day it was fine.
So you took any medicine?
No, I didn't take any medicine. I just went to sleep.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
My father also.
Because we have scheduled our shot.
Okay.
So actually, my father also got a similar kind of the side effects. He also felt a little bit feverish on the same day, but next day he was fine. I think in California, you are. I mean, in India, we don't have that choice. It could be any vaccines. It's not like Indian-made vaccines, Covaxin and Covishield. So, which vaccines are they using over there in California?
There are Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna. So there are
okay. So you have a choice.
Choices.
Like you can
right.
Any...
Correct. We can select the location.
Oh, that's nice. Because over here we don't have a choice. It could be anything.
No, over here also we don't have a choice as such. Like depends on which location you're going actually. Some locations are just giving Johnson and Johnson. Some are giving Pfizer. So it's different.
Yeah, I mean, again on map you can see different locations, and based on your preference you can select the one.
Yeah, it's not like you go there and they'll give you a buffet. Choose which one.
Yeah, of course.
But at least you know that like which brand will be like.
Of course.
But over here we don't even know that. So we know that there are 2 brands only, and I think Sputnik has also been right now given an emergency approval. I think by next month Sputnik will also be used over here. But again, we will not get to know that whether we were vaccinated with Covishield or Sputnik or some other.
I've also read somewhere that Pfizer will also probably last phases of discussion of opening a manufacturing.
Right, Pfizer is also the last stage of approval. I guess that also might start in May or June. And Pfizer also has a good efficiency also, right? I guess 95% of an efficacy.
Yeah.
So I hope this situation gets controlled, because like up till the last month, right? Like up till like Feb and March, the situation was such in India that almost all the people had forgotten that there is something like corona as well. right? Like everything was open and people were traveling, going on a
Exactly.
vacation, marriages were happening, everything was
Holy
going,
parties.
right. And we were like, that COVID is now gone. And suddenly this Holi festival came and in the end of March. And after that, it's like all Corona everywhere, right? I mean, every household thing is Corona now. Anyways, I think you guys will be also getting late. So
Yeah, but tomorrow the same time, like
so we'll start
6:30
at 7.
or 7.
7,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Going forward, we'll have it at the same time only, or it's going to change back?
I think it will happen at the same time because there is another something that is going around before your batch. I'll check it. Do you want the time to be changed or do you want the same one?
For us it's fine, but who live in East Coast, yeah, it
For
might
them,
be
it
late
will
for
be
them.
I live in East Coast. I'm fine with it as well.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you will have any problem, you let me know. We can think of it and we can try to change the time.
Okay.
We can start
And
half an hour.
is there any homework?
Homework I will be giving you tomorrow. So there are a lot of case studies that I will be giving you for the Tableau.
Okay.
But what I can do is let me share it. I can share one assignment. If you would like to just practice for some part, let me do that.
Are you going to evaluate it?
So you can share that.
Please, we would like to know.
So I'll do that. What we can do is we can once you create it, we can discuss that thing in the class itself. That what you have created and how we could have. Just a second. I'm just sharing that. Okay, so I have shared an assignment and the data, right? So on the WhatsApp group only. So I've shared it. So this is the data, and then there is a file in which the questions are given. What you have to try.
Okay, what's the deadline for the same?
Sorry.
What is the deadline?
You can try to complete it by tomorrow because it's a small one.
Okay.
It just has 7-8 questions. And what we will do is before starting the session, we will also discuss all these questions in the class so that you all are able to understand it.
Okay, sure.
Okay, sure. So that is where we'll take a pause. So we can now correct tomorrow, right? So at the same time, 7.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.